What's up, Reefers? Welcome to Alex Port Corals. This is Alex Wilson, my video log, where I am giving you the information that hopefully you can learn from my mistakes, right? So check it out. Alright, so here's a quick little shot of my little innovative marine, what are they, like 10 gallons by side. This is what I use just in case for my sick aquariums. And so, yep, definitely the smallest you could probably do. Much more practical would be the size of just your standard 10-gallon aquarium, as this one only has like 1 square foot, if that, right there to use. It's a little tall for me, but works being that I had already had it right here. One win up here is definitely these flipper magnets. Huge fan of the flipper magnets. All three, or all the sizes that they have, definitely extremely good. And this one, it makes sense. I mean, you wouldn't believe how hard it is to find a black magnet. I mean, look, you got, well, look, black aquarium, black magnet, it just blends right in. It makes sense. I can't stand, they have all these pink magnets. Man, pink doesn't work for me. I got green up there, they got blues, they got cream colored magnets. Man, those aren't any good. Can't someone just make decent black magnets? Flipper magnets, boy, this is the magnet to get. Number one, it's also, another thing I like about it, it's nice and narrow. Nice and compact right there. So it can get into, is really super important on these nano aquariums, and where you want to get into the corals, get really, really close to the glass. You want to be able to get around that. This does a nice, good job of doing that. It only comes out like about maybe tops 1/2 of an inch right there. But you can even, it's a flipper, so of course you can flip it around manually. And you have the scraper there. I've never used that, but you have the scraper side of it. And if you don't use the scraper side of it, as I understand it, you could remove that little scraper part right there, so that would give you an extra 1/8 of an inch probably, so that it would be even more narrow. So that's my 2 cents on that one, guys. Let's go check out my what else we got going on over here with the aquariums over here. So also I'm going to show you guys the water drop at my reverse osmosis deionization. That's the water purification system that I definitely have going on right here underneath the sink in my kitchen. So here it is. Giving a quick update on it. Yeah, so good so far, except for I had one little leak here. Luckily I was here, just happened to be standing right here when something did spring a small leak, but it might have been my fault. So let's check it out. Alright, so this is what I'm talking about here. This is the water drop reverse osmosis system. Totally makes sense to me because it's a 5-in-1. That's right. Why go around changing out 5 different filters and worrying about which one is good, which one is expired, when you could just change out one? Think about it. Just makes sense. Why change out 5 when you could change 1 filter? So, of course, this has some limited applications as well. One thing, too, that it has done is that, I have this connected to my Brute trash can right here in my back patio that I showed you in a previous video. And so one limitation is that it seems to shut off after running just about 20 gallons at a time or so. So, it's not designed for that, and it's probably designed either to prevent the pump from burning up on it, because that's what it has on it. It has a really fast pump. Or, to prevent, it assumes that there's a leak, and then it's just shut it off. That's the famous fail-safe, built-in fail-safe mechanism that this water drop surely has in it. So one thing I could say about that is that, certainly someone could make an opportunity for one specialized for the reefing hobby industry, and just right there that would have a little bit longer time. So for different applications that you could control that for, so have it shut off or not shut off or what have you. So other than that though, good so far, except for the fact that I had this Aquatic Life deionization filter on it right there. I don't know if it was just my loose connection that I put on the top of it or if it's just the body of itself, but that's where it sprang a small leak. And so I switched it out with this one right here. This one is the ice spring deionization filter. So this one is definitely much more robust and much thicker. And I have the refill deionization that I bought for the other filter, so when this one runs out I will try that one out as well. I also got a backup one ready to go just in case I need it, just in case this one fails. And so yeah, another thing I'm putting on there of course is the fail-safe reverse osmosis fail-safe valve that I talked about. Be putting that on here as well as the other quarantine, the 20-gallon quarantine. So let's come over there, check out this is, by the way, this is my pantry. Most people use it for food, and of course this is just my huge reef room right here, right? Most of it, I'm gonna say 80% of it is aquarium related stuff. So there it is. What am I using down here? Looks like tropic marine salt. That's right. What is this? This is the, oh yeah, so this is the symbiotic salt that comes with tropic marine that's supposed to have a little bit of the nutrients already built into it, that it's not as sterile as your standard salt. Needless to say, definitely not a fan of this salt. Mixes out clean, but then, it doesn't mix out clean. Mixes out kind of dirty-ish. I would definitely say kind of like instant ocean or much worse than that, right? And so it and then over time it gets even dirtier and dirtier and dirtier, and I assume that that's a part of the design of the salt. Anyway, not a fan. Used it up, but just because I used it, and definitely would recommend using just the standard tropic marine salt. That's the synthetic grade. That's for the Reef Aquarium, just the standard one. That's the one that I would definitely use, but it was out of stock, bulk reef supply, so I went ahead and switched that one out with, I'm using this is the HW Reefer salt, so I went ahead with that, really happy with that salt too. So that's the stuff that I'm using, and it's synthetic, complete 100% synthetic salt, so definitely guaranteed to have pharmaceutical grade components in it, as I understand it. But that's my quick rundown of my salt situation. Just happen to remember that now that I'm looking at it. Alright guys, well, what else do we got here? We're checking out the quarantine over here. Let's come over here, quarantine system, see what we got going on over here. Check it out. And so yeah, one thing that comes to mind too, we're talking about this, I showed you really quick in the last video, my Australian live rock, and I just noticed that the Australian live rock, that Unique Corals definitely has some more in stock, so great to hear about that. However, and one thing that's noted on the information on that is that he's saying, that there's like 5 days of total transit time from when the live rock was collected, from when they get it in their facilities in Los Angeles. And so, Joe Copperette, I don't know if you're one of my viewers, probably not, but if you are, then I would highly recommend considering an option to ship that live rock in water, because everybody knows that the coralline algae, just once exposed to the air, the shortest amount of time, completely dies off. Total bummer. So I don't know, you're charging $25 a pound for this live rock. I don't know. I'd be willing to pay twice that. People might be able to pay even more than that just to get the stuff in water. I know that KP Aquatics out of Florida that has all kinds of options on their live rock like that. You know, they got live rock, you know, where you can ship it dry, ship it in water, ship it half dry, ship it half, you know, different shipping methods and different amounts of water, and supposed to get different results at different prices. So, you know, maybe that might be an option too. Some people that are willing to pay 5-10 times the price. Some people, you know, for one speed or one results, and some people, you know, might be able to looking for the cheapest of the options. But for me, I'm definitely looking for that. I'm looking for coralline algae rock. It doesn't even have to be live rock. I just like coralline covered rock. Gotta love it. Here it is right here. This is what I'm talking about. Coralline. I got coralline algae going all over my crushed coral down here. Check it out. It's pretty wild. If I hadn't touched it at all, the whole thing would probably just be like one straight mat of coralline algae. I don't know, but I absolutely love it. Can't get more of it. So yeah, that's my opinion on that one. And here's a good shot of my quarantine system from this side right here. And yeah, I'm getting hopefully these acroporus over here used to the aquarium right here. Hopefully settling in after this huge brown slime, red slime, green. I had all the slimes in here. Dinoflagellates attack. So yeah, the ugliest. That's right. Definitely right. I just saw a video, by the way, by Bulk Reef Supply. Ryan Bachelor over there, Bulk Reef Supply. Excellent videos over there. Just had a really good one on. Really good one talking about the rocks, you know, with their getting through the ugly phases to trying to establish your aquarium and your rocks, and the experiments that they're doing, that investigates on the different types of rocks, dry rocks, and different experiments that they're trying to determine on there, you know, on what is the best practices on that. Also of note are they're doing the fish quarantine series there, a pretty good series with marine collectors over there. I believe it's Elliot, and he's giving kind of the best practices of how to do your fish quarantining, you know, and hopefully avoid your velvet is the main thing that everybody should be that I'm concerned about, because it certainly is manageable in some cases. So, but definitely that velvet and everything else, definitely want to get away from the velvet. So definitely check out that series coming up here on Bulk Reef Supply, guys. And so what else have we got over here? Let's check them out. Everybody, okay, these guys are doing pretty good, looking pretty clear, looking good today. And let's check out the main display. So the main display, what's up, Yellow Tank? We got Yellow Tank. See, oh, this is where I got the huge algae boom. It's gone crazy. This is just one day hitting boom. I've got the greens going absolutely nuts in here. I got the cyanobacteria, the slimes going all over my gonioporus, smothering them down, smothering absolutely everything in here. Look, even the heliofungia is mad. It's not opening up like it should. Acanthophilia is doing good. Fingers crossed so far, but everything else is completely slammed by this slime algae. And one thing I've noted is that it definitely has like a web-like consistency. And certainly it's like a snotty, gross, snotty-like feel to it. Complete netting type of feel to it. Like I was saying, just nets everything like mad. Therefore, I put in some more of the chemical and got my fingers crossed again that it's gonna save the day here. And I also probably, you know, overdosed, like I had said, the reef roids and the dehydrated chicken manure. And one of the things that so, you know, I was doing it one-fourth of the recommended dosage of one, and then of the other, you know, and I had been doing just one-fourth of the reef roids. So definitely increase that. And I think that was it. So I would definitely recommend staying at just the straight 1/8 of the recommended dosage, you know, and then slowly work your way up from that. And it's really hard to do in practice because you make one little change to your feeding schedule, and, you know, it takes at least 2 weeks to see the results. So, you know, by the time you start to see a little bit of a bad results, and you stop your additional feeding, you know, you've got another 2 weeks of just, you know, before you see it to start to correct itself, right? Because it seems to take at least 2 weeks for the changes to take effect. And here you can see a good shot of my Christmas tree worm rock parietes here, completely getting covered up by the slime. I can't get the slime off this one. It won't even hardly blow off because it's stuck on it so good. So I'm just going to try to let the chemicline do its magic on that one. And move that. This is a micro musa. Moved them over here. Kind of see him a little bit. Still under this crazy grain slime, all brown all over the glass right here. Check out the clams. So good so far. They're not even bothered by this slime yet, you know, until they were really annoyed in the quarantine system. So it'll get to them eventually. And what do we got here? Oh, I moved my Favias, or not Favias. These are the Garni Astrias over here, a little bit closer to get a better shots of them. This one was a unique corals. I think they were calling this one the Nitro Favia or something. Can't quite remember the name. But this is the same green Garni Astria that I have over in the quarantine system. And this is the green splatter Garni Astria. So definitely liking those guys there for now. And Elegance Coral still alive, but everything gets affected by this brown slimes without a doubt. Right, Yellow Tang? Even the Yellow Tang. Or are you going to eat it for me? Maybe you can train the Yellow Tang. I'll go back to the training here. Okay, Yellow Tang. Come over here. See if we can you eat the slime. Dude, if you could just eat the slimes, all of the slimes, doesn't even matter which one you're doing, just pick one. If you can just eat the green slime, then everyone will be so happy. You can train all the other Yellow Tangs to come over here and eat all the slimes for everybody. And then, no, probably crazy, probably won't work, but definitely have definitely have the slimes over here. See, covering up completely my pulsing zinnia, cutting them off really bad. Won't even open up like that, but check out the hammers and mushrooms over here. As of yet unaffected, but it'll probably get to them eventually as well because it can't be good. And so yeah, the Australian live rockets right here. This is what I'm talking about. Australian live rock right here. Why can't we ship it in water? Ship it in water, at least have the options to do so. Absolutely wild. If could have got it shipped in water, similar to KP Aquatics coming out of Florida, they have the same options. If it were in water, I would expect to have, the main thing is the coralline algae. I'll take that. You know, you could have you know, still have lots in here, but man, the whole thing covered with coralline algae would be ready to go on a really, well, you know, still got to cook with the quarantine. You're still gonna get, you know, a lot of die-offs, and it's still gonna have to go through the long quarantine phase and everything, or curing phase and everything as well. Which is fine though, because it's completely worth it, because it would be like just the idea that that these came from areas where corals were collected as well, so there is a chance you can get some bonus corals on there. Would absolutely blow reefers' minds, absolutely wild, because not only just because they might get something that they already have, but it would just be like this random like like a slot machine game, where you're getting like these chance, you don't know what you can get straight out of the ocean. So you just get coral sprouting up right and left, and you don't know what they are. That would be so awesome in my opinion. And it would, it would be like, it would kind of be like the fun of opening up baseball cards, right? Oh, if you're a guy, but you get baseball cards, you get a pack. That was the whole point of getting them. For a lot of people, it was just the fun of finding out what you got and what you didn't got. And it's just a random thing, and so that's why it was a part of like the industry was to make these baseball cards where you would open up, you would get the packets of them, and and you get a collection. You open anyway. So you have the same thing, the same fun of, even if you don't even want the corals that way, totally awesome. You get just wild corals springing up right and left. I don't think anybody could complain about that, whether they lived or died. But certainly a lot of experts would have all kinds of cool corals sprouting out right and left that they don't know what they are, and they can name them, and or even if they're the same ones that are in the hobby, they can say, oh, well, this one popped up on the live rock. It will blow people's minds wild. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on that one, guys. I guess that's it for this one. But check back on the next episode to see what has lived and what has died. Alright, guys, that's it. Happy reefing. Bye.